Hello, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I'd like to share with you today a really quick and simple card using the new Driving By and Special Moment stamp sets. I'm doing a technique that's called motion stamping. It's a super simple stamp technique. Both of these stamps are found in our January to February celebration brochure. The first one, the Driving By, has this wonderful little minibus that I just loved, and other related driving, sports car and a Volkswagen Bug. With a $50 order before any shipping or tax, you can choose this stamp set for free if you order before the end of day on February the 28th, which is when this particular brochure ends. If you have a $100 order before shipping and tax, you can choose the Special Moments stamp set, which has all kinds of different all-occasion greetings and is wonderful to pair with the Driving By. I chose to do a slimline card because in our January to June mini catalog on page 53, we sell some slimline envelopes that are just a perfect size to make a slimline card. They are mailable. You get 5 each of 3 different colors, soft succulent in white and in smoky slate. And I'm using the white envelope for this. So let me show you how fast and easy this card will go together. Let me set this kind of out of the way. So what you need, and I'll have all of these measurements on my blog, justalittle.ink.com. And remember, you can order any of these supplies on my website, justalittle.ink.stampinup.net. And if you've not yet subscribed to my YouTube video, I would so appreciate you doing so. Please like and share this video as well. So what you want, besides that slimline envelope, you're going to want a piece of cardstock. I'm using Granny Apple Green. You want it 7 inches by 8.5 inches, and you're going to score it along the 7-inch side at 3.5. You're also going to want another scrap piece of Granny Apple Green, 3 7/8 by 1 inch. You're going to want some pieces of basic white. To coordinate with that greeting, you're going to want a piece that is 3/4 of an inch by 3 5/8 of an inch. You're going to want a scrap piece to stamp this bus, one that is about 1.5 inches by about 2.5 inches. And then you need 2 pieces, one for the front and one for the inside, basic white, that is 3 1/4 by 8 1/4 inches. So let's stamp through all these things and show you how super easy all this is. So I've already scored my cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold it in half along that score line, match up my straight ends, pull out my bone folder. And that's going to be my card base, and I cut that just right so that it fits inside my slimline envelope. Then I'm going to set this out of the way. To get all of my pieces ready, I'm just going to quickly stamp. I'm going to pull out Tuxedo Black Memento ink because I'm going to be coloring using my Stampin' Blends. And so I'm going to, whoops, wrong one. We will need that. I'm going to pull out the Happy Birthday from the Special Moments. I like a bigger block so I can kind of see what I'm stamping through it. So I'm going to line it up kind of centered, like so. Then I can set that piece out of the way. And we will take care of doing any other inking there in a minute. I'm going to pull out my bus again. I'm going to stamp it on my scrap, and then I'll color it in. I'm going to show you what we're going to do on the front. So I'm going to ink up my stamp. You want to make sure your wheels are straight, so I line it up against a straight edge and make sure they look pretty straight. Ink up once. I'm going to figure out what point do I want my bust to end. I'm going to line up the bottom of my block at the edge of my cardstock, and I want my bust to end here. So I'm going to stamp it once. I'm going to lift up. I'm not going to re-ink again. And I'm going to come down. I'm going to try to line up this wheel to this wheel. It doesn't have to be exact, but I want it pretty close. There's a reason behind that. So I'm going to stamp, pick it up, and I'll do the same thing again. Try to keep it in that. It may not quite, but it's close. And about here. So that it looks as though my bus is moving across. While I still have my ink out, I'm going to go ahead and ink up my bus one more time so I can put it on the inside of my card. I want him over here. I'll set that out of the side, and then I'm taking a greeting from for the inside, again from the Special Moments stamp set, that says, "I think you are wonderful." So I'm just going to stamp it in the middle. You could have any greeting you wanted in here. This allows me a little bit of room to stamp a greeting and write a message. So set this out of the way. So I'm going to show you how I colored my bus. I'm going to do it on this one. You would do it twice. You would do one on your piece that you're cutting out, and then you'll do it again on the inside. So I'm going to use the Granny Apple Green Stampin' Blends, and I'll kind of show you kind of how I choose to do this. I don't know that there's a wrong way. If you're a purist in Copic, you will have a different thought process, but I like to take a little bit of my darker blend and do it in certain specific spots. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm coming in, grabbing a little of the darker so I can blend it. And then I'm going to come in with my lighter blend. We have two ends, one that's a brush tip end, which is for much bigger spaces, and then one is for the bullet tip. I tend to use the bullet tips. So let me show you how quick. I'm going to then come in that darker area and I'm going to blend it out. You might be hearing my ornery doggies today. They're being a little crazy. And they don't like the FedEx or UPS guys who happen to be out today. We do our best to keep them quiet. So I'm going to come in, and here I'm pulling that color so that I have some variation, dark to light. And the more you go over that, the more it blends. Obviously the opposite of that, if I don't want it to blend as much, I'm not going to go over it much. I want to leave some white, so I am not trying to get into the area around the bus's windows. So I'm coming into here. And this part with the green, because it's where I'm blending, takes longer. If you didn't want to spend as much time, you would just use one color, light or dark, and it would be a much quicker color book look. So like you're just coloring with your crayons. Be something quite similar. So then what I did is I took and used Balmy Blue for the windows. Again, just the lighter. I didn't choose to do any blending. You could. Like I said, you can make this as detailed as you want it to be. And then grab my windows. I think this could be a fun set to do a group of cards with all of the vehicles that are in the Driving By stamp set. Then I'm going to pull out, this is basic black, and I'm using the lighter of the two so that I can color in my wheels. I could have used the dark of the smoky slate, but I don't feel it's dark enough for tires. And so that's why I'm pulling out the basic black. And the reason I mention the other is because I am using Smoky Slate. I used the lighter of the two. And you notice here I'm coming in and it will kind of push that out a little bit. You won't even know I overlapped a little too much. Pull it in here. And I also came in and did my bumpers and my exhaust on my bus in Smoky Slate. Finally, I'm going to take the light, actually this is the dark, of the Daffodil Delight to give me a headlight. And I'm going to use the light of Pumpkin Pie to do my tail light. You could choose to just do them both in one color or the other. So that's my inside. I would do the exact same thing to color my bus. Then I would cut my bus out. I've already done that. So we're going to set this here. What I did to finish is I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of my bus. Take just a couple of them here. It'll help them pull up. Oops, didn't get them both off. Line up over here. So then all I do is I line up my bus on top, and then it didn't matter that I've stamped on top. This then will go on the front. Going to put your piece you colored on your motion on the front of your card. Lining it up. You could make a lot of these in no time at all. And then we're going to mess with, let's put this on the inside. I'm using my Stampin' Seal. It is my preferred adhesive. It's quick, it's easy, it's mess-free. Certainly you can use our multi-purpose liquid glue. That also works well. Then I'm going to take, I need to use my banner. You could banner with your scissors. I like our Banner's Pick-a-Punch. It has both the banner end and then kind of more of a pennant look. So I'm going to put it through. I always like to look on the back to make sure I'm equal on the spacing. One here, turn it over, put the other one in. And I'm going to do the same thing with my layer of my Granny Apple Green. So one here, turn around, put it through on the other end, like so. Out of the way, and then I'll do is take, scatter all those things off, put some Stampin' Seal on the back, line up my banner, like so. Pretty close to an equal spacing. And then I put some more dimensionals on the back of here. You could have it flat if you don't want a lot of dimension. I like it a little more. So pull my ends off. And I thought to balance it, I'd stick my greeting on the opposite end. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to stick it like so. And like that, I have gotten a motion stamping bus. Hope you enjoyed my video. Again, if you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you do. Please like and share, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Have a wonderful day.